Hi everyone, this is Harry here from the Foundry of Ideas. You are welcome to join me in my latest video, and I wish to thank you for your interest in my work and for being here today. This is the first video in a series of 3 videos, and basically this one covers the Kreg KPHJ320 pocket hole jig. Let's see what comes in the box of this jig. The jig comes in a strong plastic box, and on opening we have the instructions, which I have found to be very comprehensive, and they can teach you exactly what to do with this jig. On exposing the parts of the jig, we have, first of all, the drill guide. In fact, here we have 2 drill guides, here and here. Now, if I turn this upside down, you will see here there are 2 stoppers, and these stoppers you press and they slide, and the purpose of the sliding is to adjust the position of the wood that you want to drill in accordance with its thickness. Another part that is important to note here is this plastic here, which is anti-slip material, so as to hold the jig properly on the piece of wood that you're drilling. This is a very small jig comparatively, but it is a very, very versatile piece of material here, piece of equipment. As you see it like that, what you can do is you shift it like this and turn, and you end up with one guide drill. You have a spacer, and again you do the same, and this is the second. So you can position these 2 wherever you want in relation to the piece of wood that you want to drill. Let's go back for a moment and let me show you one further point that one can do. You can take away this piece with a slider, and you're left with this piece. Now, as you can see, there are serrations here and here, and the purpose of these serrations is that if you are in a restricted place, you can use 2 screws to secure this on the wood that you want to drill, here and here. So, as you can see already, there are a lot of things that you can do with this jig. Now, I'm putting it back together, and basically what I want to do is press it back, and this is in position, and the same thing happens here, and press this forward, and we have the jig as we had it originally. You will note that through these holes you can see a gray color here and here. That means that at the moment this jig is set to drill on a piece of wood that is 38 millimeters thickness, and that piece of wood will go with the stoppers. See the stoppers here? It will go like this, and you will be drilling in this direction. Now, this is the simplicity, and here we have adjustments of the stopper that slides for 38 millimeter thickness wood, 19 millimeter thickness wood, and 13 millimeter thickness wood. So we have quite a variety. One thing to remember, I will point out to you as soon as I show you part 2 of this jig, which is the easy set drill bit. Now, this drill bit, as you can see, is an ordinary drill bit, but at the front end it's got a pilot drill, which is a lot smaller than the diameter of this drill bit here, which is just over 9 millimeters. What you do here is you have a collar, and the collar has got a large inspection hole, and you use this material thickness gauge, which is also a hex wrench, and you position it in any one of the measurements. There are 3 measurements here: 13, 19, and 38. And of course, again, these positions correspond to the thickness of the wood that we're drilling. So let's say we are drilling 19 millimeters. We bring the collar here, and with this hex wrench we secure the collar onto the so-called easy set drill bit. Since I was working with that, I showed you that. This is what is used as a hex wrench, but at the same time, what it does, it helps you look at the dimension of the thickness of the wood that you're going to drill. And in this instance here, we are in 19 millimeters. Right. The next item that I want to present to you is the universal clamp pad adapter. And this adapter is positioned here, and as you can see, it is available for sliding, so as to accommodate the clamp that holds the jig, the piece of wood that you want to drill, as well as the bench on which you are securing the whole thing. So let me just show you. This is the type of clamp we're using, and as you can see here, there are 2 flat bits which are free to move. And basically what you do is you bring this bit here, and then you clamp it with a clamp on the bench. It's a self-adjusting clamp, this, and it is very easy to use. Now, when you're placing this universal clamp pad adapter, this is the right place to put it, because if you put it here, you will be blocking the 2 holes which are used for extraction of dust from the jig, and you don't want to do that. The next item is a driver bit, and as you can see here, the front of the driver is a square section, and the reason that it is a square section is so that it can fit properly the screws that Kreg provide. And as you can see, this screw has also got a square recess. So basically what happens is you put the driver here, and you can see you get a very nice arrangement for screwing. Since I am showing you the screw, please note that you have got the threaded part here, but right at the very front there is a serration which helps to drill the wood better. In fact, one might say that it's even there to create some kind of pilot drilling. So, Kreg have very kindly provided a box of indoor 1 1/4 diameter screws, this type of thing, and then they have also provided a quantity of larger drills, screws, which are 2.5 inches length, flathead, shank, which has got no thread, and then at the front again you have got a serration which helps to prepare the drill hole. Of course you can't see it here because this is coated, and it is coated because it can be used outdoor. So this is this screw. Basically you can see that a few parts can create a jig that has got a lot of possibilities. It can drill pocket holes where there is plenty of space. Like I showed you in the beginning, by taking this piece out of the jig, you can drill in areas where you do not have a lot of space, where you are rather restricted. I think I have enumerated all the parts in the jig. Two main types of joints that you can create with this jig is the so-called edge joint, where you have the direction of the fibers of the wood going this way and on the other piece this way. Now, what you are going to do is you are going to drill a hole here and introduce the screw in this direction. As you can see here, we shall make the pocket hole, and then the threaded part of the screw is going to hold this piece. The second type of joint that we can create with the jig is called a face joint. It's this one here, and again, as you can see, the fibers of the wood are going this way, and the fibers of the what I call the linked board, this is the pocket board and this is the linked board, the fibers are going this way. This is so that we can achieve a good joint. Now that I have described to you the types of joints that one can make with this Kreg jig, the 320, it is time that I show you in actual practice how we can use the actual jig. So we shall put this on a bench type of board, and I shall show you how the whole process works. Here, as you can see, I have set up the jig. I have a type of bench here. This is the piece of wood on which I'm going to drill my pocket holes, which is 19 millimeters thickness. This piece here is the universal clamp pad adapter, and here is our clamp that holds the whole thing. This is my drill, and the drill bit that I showed you earlier, I have set it to 19 millimeter thickness, and again the sliders here are at 19 millimeter thickness. So I'm now ready to go. I insert the drill bit until it touches the wood, and then I retract it a bit and I start drilling. As you can see, the extraction hole is working well here with the drilled material coming out quite easily. So now we shall repeat the same exercise here. For reference, I would point out that my clutch is at 7 and my speed is at 2. So now I'm going to remove the clamp, remove the jig. There we are. And as you can see now, here are our two pocket holes. There is no exit on this surface. Now, to facilitate that the wood does not split during my drilling, I will use a thin pilot drill, which is, let me get it, it's this one, 16 centimeter long, 3 millimeter diameter. And what I will do, I want these to go no more than, let's say, 15 millimeters into the linked board. So I'm going to make a guide here with a piece of tape, and I like to fold the end of the piece of tape to make it relatively easier to remove it later. Let me check again. That is just right here. So, removing this drill bit and inserting the small pilot driver, and basically, before I go any further, I will again apply the clamp to hold the two pieces securely together, because obviously we don't want these things moving away from each other. That's good. I have to follow the same inclination as my main drill bit, and here we go. That's enough here, and let us repeat the same exercise here. And that is fine. The pilot drill has done its work, and the next step is to apply the screws. One screw goes here and the other goes here, and here we have our driver bit. Now in this instance here, I like slow speed and maybe around 5 on the clutch. Make sure that the driver is in the recess of the screw and drive. Okay, and we repeat the same here. Remove the clamp, and as you can see, there is no gap here, and that is an indication that the two faces are nicely together. This is a very strong joint, really strong joint. We have no exit of the screws on the linked board, and this is really what we are after. And basically this is the way the pocket hole operation should be concluded. Now, to make life easier, Kreg have produced a screw selector wheel, and as you can see, this is for a face joint, and on the reverse we have an edge joint. And basically what this wheel does, it will show you for the thickness of the wood that we are using, the size of the screw that we need to utilize. Now, in our particular instance, we are here 3/4 of an inch, which is 19 millimeters, for the linked board as well as for the pocket hole board. And for that, Kreg tells us that we have to use 1 1/4 inch screw, which is what we used. It is an extra expense to buy this wheel. However, it is a very convenient and quick way of deciding on the size of screws that you want to use. I have presented to you all the parts of the jig, and I have presented to you how the jig is to be set up, and finally I have shown you how to drill the pocket holes in an arrangement of a face joint, which is our face joint. As you can see, this is a flat surface. There is no movement at all, which shows us that this is a successful way of introducing pocket holes on those two pieces together. Well, we have reached the end of this video. I do hope that you have found my video informative and useful. Thank you very much for taking the time to go through it with me. If you enjoyed my video, please consider liking it and do subscribe to my channel. If you have any points that you wish to raise, or if you have any questions which are connected to this video, please leave them below in the comments. Your comments are valuable to me because I do try to produce videos that are related to the points that I receive from you. Your comments also help me to make better videos, so please keep your comments coming. Stay safe, healthy and happy, and I hope to see you in my next video.